So welcome to another episode of Real Estate Unhinged. Today I'm blessed enough to have our NAHREP-elect president, Luxan. She's a broker with RE/MAX. So today I was hoping to really kind of dig deep into what is NAHREP, about their ideas, and how they're helping the Latino community really grow within real estate and building wealth through real estate. So welcome. Thank you so much, Luxan, for being here.
Thank you so much for your invitation,
Of
Michelle.
course, of course. So tell me a little bit about your real estate journey. How did you get into real estate?
Oh boy, well, I started in real estate going pretty much to as an accountant for a property manager company.
Really?
Yes. I had 4 properties under my management pretty much, and then I started after that. My husband actually was the one that encouraged me to go and take the exam. I took it, and it's been 10 years already that I haven't looked back. I started off as a regular agent, and then little did I know that my production level started developing more. I started getting more clients. And then, of course, I just recently opened my own brokerage under RE/MAX.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. We've been open since February 1st, and we've been rocking ever since. I'm so blessed, and I can't believe that I'm actually a broker now.
So what led you to say, hey, I have a really great business as a salesperson, to say, I need to bring this to the next level? What led you to that decision?
I think that because during the years of me being an agent, I really honed into education. So any of the agents that would come to my offices at that time where I wasn't a broker, I would kind of like try to help them, try to encourage them, mentor them. So I think that when I started doing that, that's what eventually developed my interest in becoming a broker.
So you were just a natural mentor. That's yes. Your inner self.
Yes.
Your true self.
Yes.
Amazing. Now, tell us about NAHREP. So not everybody is familiar with NAHREP, and a lot of our viewers are not real estate agents. So yes. What exactly is NAHREP?
So NAHREP is actually the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals. I know it's a big word. We are, like the word says, a national organization. It's led by people that are within the real estate industry.
Yep.
You don't necessarily have to be Latino. I know a lot of people say, do I have to be Hispanic or Latino to be in NAHREP? You don't. As long as you serve our community, then, you might as well be our members. We have, of course, chapters all over the nation, hundreds of chapters by now. And actually in Massachusetts, we have 2. We have the Boston chapter, and we have also Central Mass.
Okay, and you don't have to just be a real estate agent. You could be an insurance, You could be a loan officer. So as long as you're working within the real estate
yes.
market. So when did you start getting yourself involved with NAHREP?
Oh, I think it was back in 2016. I had my first meeting that I went to. It was actually the business rally.
Yeah.
It was in Woburn.
Yeah.
And at that time, I believe who was the president at that time was Peggy Pratt.
Yep.
And I remember that I sat in the back, very shy, because when I started my real estate career, I was very shy. And people would come and say hi, welcome. And then after that, I started getting more interest. I was blown away on that first business rally. I couldn't believe that we had so many Hispanics and Latinos and even non-Latinos like participate, be there, speakers, and of course we had booths and, all over things that would relate to real estate.
Okay, so 2016, you're sitting there, you're blown away by all of the participants and their energy and their love for their community.
Yes.
When did you decide to actively get involved with NAHREP?
I think right away. I became a member. I probably became a member after that meeting and, that event. And after that, I just kept going to different meetings, different events that they had. And the more I went, the more connections I made. And as a new agent, at that time, it was very important to make those connections, the networking. But not only that, I started looking up to people that were in the board, just looking at them and saying, like, I want to be that person one day, right? And I think all of us in some point of time look at people that are higher level than us. We kind of like want to say, hey, if they can make it, I can make it. Yes, of course. And that's pretty much how I started. I became a fan of NAHREP, and I've been ever since.
Well, so a lot of people that are here today, like I said, aren't familiar with NAHREP. What is the message? Tell us about the message, what they're trying to educate us on, and our communities.
So NAHREP is actually focusing, and their mission is to provide sustainable home ownership to the Latino community.
Which is the fastest growing community in the States. Which is the fastest,
yes. Actually, some of the stats last year when we went to national event, we're over 50% over already. So it looks like, from all the stats that within 10 years, we're definitely going to be the top community.
That's amazing. So they're promoting home ownership.
Yes.
Through education, explaining, hey, what's the process? How can we help you? How can we connect you to local professionals that are going to be able to get you there?
And not only that, but we also, part of the mission within NAHREP is actually to educate us as professionals so we can go back to our communities and say, okay, this is the way that I can help you. And of course, we always know that everybody wants people that look like us, talk like us, do our mannerisms like us. So everybody always tries to hone in, but NAHREP definitely educates and focuses more on the professional.
So now you're the President-Elect. What does that mean to you? So first of all, you must have been super excited.
Yes, super excited. I'm still pinching myself. I can't believe that I've come all this way. I started as an advisor, and I worked my way up to different positions. I was the government affairs, and now the president. I can't believe it, Michelle. It's a matter of me trying to get to where those people that when I first joined, I really wanted to be like them. I really wanted that leadership. And I think NAHREP actually provides that, to those that are actually interested and they're really trying to get to that next level. NAHREP is not only a networking and we do great events, yes, but it's also about leadership too.
So what are your plans for NAHREP in your community?
So in
Have
Boston,
you thought about that yet?
Yes. So we this year are all about education. Education. We already had our first lunch and learn. We brought in a couple of professionals that are within our industry and our market. They came in and talked about the NAR settlement and how to move on after the NAR settlement, which we've all been overwhelmed about the news and everything that's been happening. So, more and more of those are coming during this year. I feel like we are very, very interested in educating our professionals so they can then, educate our community.
You know what's interesting? So I've been in real estate for 25 years. My first sale was my mom. And I've talked about this many, many times. But even thinking about then, when I got into real estate, my mom was going to buy her first house, there was such limited resources. I'm talking about limited resources when it came to agents that spoke Spanish. I'm talking about limited resources when it came to grants or affordable housing or even understanding the process. And it's so different now.
Yes,
It's a complete change, right? Because there are so many ways that we as Latinos and Asians, anyone really, anyone who says, I want to live the American dream, that option is available to you, right?
Yes.
So it's mind-blowing to me when someone says, well, I can't do that because I don't have the resources, I don't have the money. And NAHREP is one of those organizations that's helping really tear down that wall.
Yes, and not only locally, but also, when we go to Washington, D.C., one of the events, every year that we go to Washington, we actually talk to our representatives, our senators, And we advocate, we're that voice also for the community. We advocate for programs, like you said, how to get through those barriers of certain programs and limits and things like that. Why? Because we know that our families are always looking to, get to that generational wealth. And how do we do that? Through real estate.
Well, you just brought something on that's very important, generational wealth. So going back again, right, to when I was growing up, if you had a house, that was like, wow, right? I'm talking about our parents.
Yes. Yeah.
That was like, wow. And now our kids are seeing not only that we have our primary residence, but we have investment properties and commercial properties. And a lot of us have become developers and have multiple businesses and multiple streamlines of businesses, passive income, right? Things have completely changed. Things have completely changed, and it is through organizations like that. But how do you think that impacts our kids' lives, right? Because for us, like I said, it was like, oh my gosh, if you have a house, I have a house. But now it's, I have multiple properties, and I'm really growing my portfolio. How do you think that affects our children's lives?
So I think our children look up to us all the time, as you all know, and everybody knows. I feel like, we're putting them in a place that we're setting them up to success. Where they're seeing us, that we're not only having, like you said, our home, but we have different homes. We have a vacation home. My daughter, for instance, she's seen me buy properties, flip them, do all these amazing things that I told her if I didn't know about real estate and we didn't invest in real estate, we probably wouldn't have the chance to do those things. So I feel like our kids and this generation is more aware what real estate can actually do and impact in your life.
Did you ever think that you would be in a position, right?
Never.
That you would be in a position not only that you can buy multiple properties and create income like this, but that you can really influence other agents, the public, your clients, to think outside the box.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And not only just in investment, but in leadership, right?
Yes.
Think outside the box and become someone in your community that can inspire others.
Yeah, I would have never thought, because my background, again, was accountant. And, as accounting and accountants, we always are in the back of the office, so we never have interaction with people other than when you have to charge them or get something, for them. But when it comes to real estate, it's something amazing, and I would have probably never been able to do a lot of things if I hadn't known what I know now. The only regret I have is that I didn't know it sooner. If I would have known what real estate can do in your life and your family and those extended families and people that we know, I probably would have joined, the whole real estate bandwagon a long time ago.
The whole bandwagon.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about community for a minute, right? And I'm a big advocate of mentorship, as you know. I'm a big advocate of coaching. I'm a big advocate of sharing. I'm a big advocate of being involved in my community as much as I can, right? And that probably didn't really click for me till about 10 years ago, because while I was newer in the business, I had the limited belief of, I just got to do things that are going to produce me money.
Yeah.
I just got to do things that are going to make me better. I just got to do things that are bringing me up higher in this, ladder of success. I wasn't thinking, and I was thinking about my clients for sure.
Sure.
But I wasn't thinking about, let me help others in my community, because I had the limited belief that if I did that, then they were going to become competition to me.
Yeah.
And about 10 years ago, that started shifting. And about 5 years ago, completely just changed everything. It makes me a better person to be sharing and teaching, because it makes me an expert. It makes me someone that people would think of. And even if it's not making me any money, it's way beyond that.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it's putting you in a position of, you're the local expert. you're the one that people think about. Hey, I need to get into real estate, Luxan. Or hey, I need to do something within my community, Luxan.
Yeah.
Forget about the money.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Do you also feel that shift once you went into NAHREP?
I think everybody that starts thinking that, okay, it's only about my clients. I need to get the job done.
For a paycheck.
But somewhere down the line, you're like, wait a minute, there's more out there. There's more that I can do for my community, for the Latinos, I feel like when we see our parents and how much they struggled, because I think our story resonates with a lot of people. We see their struggle, and I think that's the fire behind us that we kind of like have that shift, and we say, wait a minute, I can do this not only for my family and for my friends and my clients, but my community, like the whole community, no matter where you live, no matter where you are. It's something that your mind just suddenly has that click, and then you don't look back, because then it's not about only getting a paycheck and your clients, but it's more about a whole picture.
The big picture.
Yeah.
Right. So it's such a blessing to show up somewhere. I've been at a restaurant or supermarket, whatever, and someone's come up to me. Hey, I saw your story on Instagram. Hey, I really resonated with this. Hey, I was inspired by this. And that, for me, that's $1 million paycheck right there.
Yeah.
That's $1 million paycheck for that. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel whole. And it also makes me want to share more.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So now that you're in this position with NAHREP, now you're the one that people are going to look for. So just like you went to an event 10 years ago, now you have a bunch of people that come in here, many of them for the first time.
Yes.
And they're going to be looking at you and they're going to say, I want to be like Luxan.
Isn't that amazing? I can't believe it. I strive whenever we have an event, a lunch and learn. One of the things, like I said, we start off being shy when we start off in this industry, because we see all these big people in our industry. And I'm the type of person that whenever you come to an event, I'm going to try to introduce you to everybody. Like, I want them to feel part of NAHREP, because NAHREP, like we always say, NAHREP is a NAHREP familia. So we want them to feel like family. We want them to have those connections. We want them to succeed in their journey, whatever, they're in real estate. But I personally, and I know our board as well, they are looking for, who's going to be coming up next, right? Who is that person that we can also influence and come into the board next year and the year after that can still, follow that legacy? How do we continue to help our community? And like we said in the beginning, we're going to be those top people, in a couple of years. So we need more professionals to be ready for, what's coming up next.
I'm going to share a little secret with you, right? So when they opened up the Boston chapter, I remember getting a call from someone in Florida. I can't remember who it was, so whoever it was, please do remind me. And Nellie had called, Nellie Soto. And they said, hey, well, NAHREP is coming, and we're considering you to be the president. First of all, I had no idea who NAHREP was. And second, I said, oh, that sounds like work. Because I had the limiting belief. I said, oh my God, that sounds like work. And I said, wait, what is this? What's going to happen? And I kept thinking of myself.
Yeah.
Right? Because I was still in that bubble. And I said to Nellie, you know what? I think this is not for me. And I am so glad that she took it.
Oh my God.
Because Nellie did such an incredible job.
Yes.
I would have never, ever been able to hold a candle to her. She did such an incredible job.
Yeah.
And, and then others that came in after. And literally, I regret that I had that limiting belief back then, because it is a phenomenal organization, and it's what you make of it and what you give to it.
Yes, yeah, and talk about Nellie Soto. Wow, Nellie was one of those people that pushed me to the limit. Like, she was the one that encouraged me to go for the government affairs director. And
She's
I was
amazing.
like, Nelly, I don't know anything about politics. And she's like, it's not about politics. Superstar, amazing person to look up to also. And she took the chapter to another height.
Another secret. Did you know that Nelly started with us? She was 18 years old.
Oh my God.
She was
No,
18
I did
years
not.
old.
No.
I mentored her.
No.
She was 18. She's always been such a go-getter, but she always had that, it's about community.
Yes.
That was embedded
Yes.
in her, and I'm blessed to see that in a lot of our young people today, because I'm not saying that you're as old as I am. I'm just saying that we, growing up didn't have that. It was about us. And now it's really changed. It's about community. And that's where you really grow, right? I'm not talking about business. I'm talking about that's where you grow as a person.
Yeah. And we have people to look up to. That's the most important thing. For a long time, we didn't. And I feel like that's what we also lack motivation from. So I'm glad to be part of NAHREP. I feel like NAHREP is a great organization. And we're, in this upcoming event, which you're going to be a speaker at.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
So we're also having that mentality that we want to bring a little bit of what national does, but in a local level, because we really believe in our mission. We really believe in NAHREP, and we want people to see what NAHREP is all about. And this upcoming event for the business rally on June 27th is going to be an amazing event.
I'll be there. So one more question. What's in the future for Luxan? 5 years from now, where are you?
Oh boy. I hope that I can still be a broker. I see myself doing more and more for the community. I may be able to do something nationally. I'm trying to see if that's a door that I can open and focus on.
And our current president, Nora, is amazing out of Vegas, so she's definitely someone to reach out to.
I feel like we need an East Coast national president.
There you go.
And I know we all strive to be the best. We always look up to those people that have come before us, and I'm so blessed that this year we have that mentality of education, and I can't wait to see what the next years come with NAHREP.
Thank you so much. So some of the things that I learned today from Luxan is really think outside the box and really focus on community and teaching others and mentoring them and being able to give to those who are underprivileged, right, and need that hand holding, because it's only going to pay you back 10 times, right?
Yeah.
Right.
That's
Thank
true.
you. Is there anything else that you wanted to share with our viewers?
Yes. So talking about our last event, or I should say our first event coming up of the year, we're also going to have great, amazing speakers. Michelle is going to be in our top realtor panel. Our event, which is the business rally, is coming up on June 27th from 1 to 5. And we're going to have two top panels, the realtor panels and also the lender panel. And we're also probably going to have a surprise. There's something there, a surprise from National, that we're really, really happy and excited. And we can't wait for everybody to be there. And please register on time. I cannot enforce that enough. Register on time. And we look forward to seeing everybody there.
Thank you so much, Luxan. I really appreciate you.
Thank you.
So I'd love to hear your comments, what you've learned, and I'm going to put the link in here for you guys to register for the NAHREP event. I hope everyone has a beautiful rest of your day, and until the next one.